Hi, look at this beautiful latte I got here. Hey, hey. Mm, my goodness, my time here in San Francisco is winding down and and I'm okay with that, right? Like I've had the most amazing month here. Not quite a month. Oops. I've had the month of July basically. I've been out bike riding. I've seen whales. I've seen eagles. I've seen sea lions, and not in like caged, quarantined aquariums. I've seen them out in the wild, right? I've uh I've done all the things that I wanted to do. I In all my years here, I'd never been to Alcatraz, so I got to Alcatraz. How interesting was that? Because you know why? It's not just like a prison story, it's an American story of indigenous and how the American government, no surprise, bullied and lied and abused the indigenous community and tried to take what was theirs, right? We're pretty good at doing that, right? So I'm out here doing, let me just give myself a little bit more space. There we go. A little bit more space. Hey, look at that. You get a total San Francisco scene here. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? It's honestly one of the most beautiful American cities, one of the most beautiful cities, right? Here comes a Waymo. Waymo. There's no sense in saying hello to a Waymo because there's nobody in it. Nobody will respond to you. That's the weirdest thing about the whole everything being computerized and robots is nobody responds to you, right? This is our future. So yeah, I'm so in love with San Francisco. I'm so in love with San Francisco. I lived here and I didn't have that kind of love for it because, at that time I was like trying to make a living and trying to feed myself. And that's hard in this city. That's very hard in this city. Even back then, always, this city has always been very expensive. And, that's why like the big high tech jobs are here. All the high paying jobs are here. But the key is you got to get a high paying job. I don't think there's much love for somebody like me. There's plenty of love. Let me rephrase that. I feel very loved and embraced and welcomed by this city. The fact that I don't live here and I just created some artistic experiences, I think it's like one of my proudest moments, right? Because this is not a city just like New York, just like Chicago, just like Paris. You don't just saunter in and say you're going to like um do your thing and people show up because first of all nobody trusts anyone, right? There's very little trust in anything anymore, right? There's a real reckoning going on where people are distrustful with good reason, right? There's a lot of misinformation out there, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of frustration, and there's a lot of changes going on here in the United States that are quite frankly terrifying, right? Laughed when I said frankly because I just saw that interview with that guy who said quite frankly 12,000 times, and there's nothing funny about that guy, by the way. Anyways, okay. Hi, Birdie. Little Birdie just came to say hello. So I'm totally grateful for the love that has been thrown my way here in San Francisco and the people who came to my workshops and the new friends I met, the people in my art classes that came. I'm thrilled. My heart is full. My heart is full, right? I decided that it just doesn't make any sense to, I've tried to connect with the urban sketching community, and it just doesn't make any sense because, first of all, they're not very welcoming. I'm gonna say it, especially when you're like teaching, right? Like everyone thinks you're just trying to rip them off, right? I mean, that's the way. Like, it's okay if you're just doing it for a hobby, but you try to do it where you're like teaching or got classes and people are looking at you like, well, you're not very good anyways, are you? I mean, it's very competitive, just like everything else. So what? That's life, right? Where's the trolley? No trolleys coming by. Not trolleys. Can't say trolleys. I'm in San Francisco. They're cable cars. Thought I just heard the Rice-A-Roni song. So, um, I am ending my time here in San Francisco, going back to Mexico and preparing for my workshop in Paris and my time in Paris. Oh my goodness, what am I going to discover in Paris? I'm in this portal right now. There it goes. Hey, 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 look at that. Isn't that adorable? Especially with that, right? And you got a little Tony Bennett swinging by there. How is Tony Bennett? Is he okay? I suspect he's not, or he's at the edge, right? Did he pass and I'm not remembering? Anyways, there is still plenty of reference to Tony Bennett in this town. People are constant. You hear that song, you hear you hear him being nodded to, right? And that's a beautiful thing. Because I would imagine the kids these days don't know about that era because they're all up in robots. Mm. If it wasn't clear, because I'm trying to give you like the whole ambiance, I am doing my continuous lines, albeit a little scattered because I'm taking in the ambiance. I'm in this coffee place that historically has a huge line. Let me show it to you. It's called the Coffee Movement. And usually, look, there even the sign says, please wait out here because they're just used to having enormous lines of hipsters waiting for delicious hipster coffee. This has been rated one of the top coffee places in San Francisco, and that's nothing to sneeze at because this is one serious coffee town, right? One serious coffee town. Everything else, bread, oh my God. Best bread. I try not to eat bread, but the bread here is freaking off the charts. Um, I've not had a bad piece of bread here. Now, it's also a fortune too, right? Baguettes are $6, $7. Whatever. It's not like I'm living. If I was living here, I would have reason to cry, but I'm not living here. So, and I got a ferry building hat. Oh, I'm so sad about this, and it blew off in the wind yesterday. So I have to go buy another one. And hats are not cheap here. That's the last complaint I'll make, right? The last complaint that I have to go buy a new fairy hat because the wind blew by it away. And so what I think is that somebody else has my hat and they're enjoying it. So I've donated that hat to the community. And now I'm going to go get another one because it said the ferry building. And I feel like the ferry building, I have such love and gratitude for the ferry building because there's an iconic San Francisco place that totally welcomed me, totally gave me a space to teach a workshop, and the people came and we ate the food of the local vendors in there, and we made art and we had fun and we loved. And the people of the ferry building were like, yes, please come here and do this. We want you to do your classes here, right? That's a beautiful thing, right? That was another thing that just sort of happenstance too, right? Mostly because I just went in and did it without asking. And they said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm teaching a class. And they said, did you ask us? And I said, no. And they said, well, here's my card. Ask us next time. I said, okay. And I did. And now they want me to do it on a more regular basis. I don't know about now, just because everything's so different now. Oh, here's my taxi. I gotta go. No, I don't. No, I have my beautiful $1 million latte to drink. I've taken out this whole outdoor space because usually it's crammed with people, but because it's raining, I'm the only one out here. But I can tell people are starting to come now because you can see the sun's coming out a little bit. So I'm giving all kinds of thanks. I think a couple of things are going to save us going into these fascist years. Um, Community. I hear that all the time. Community, community, community. Blah, blah, blah. I say it like that because that's one of my hardest things. I really prefer to be a loner, but I really like having collaborated on this Chinatown thing and having created the ferry building thing, it just like totally filled up my heart with like how cool it is to have a community, right? I don't have that with Urban Sketchers. That's part of my frustration because nobody trusts me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is, right? So I'll build my own. And so community, right? Cultural excursions with community, learning about things, drawing. I think drawing, being an artist is going to be a very important thing. And gratitude, right? There's a lot of things that are changing. A lot of things are changing. Prices are getting very expensive, right? They have been for a while, right? The cost of living is hard. It's hard. It's very hard, right? But you know what's still pretty reasonable is ballpoint pen and copy paper. I saw the Ruth Asawa exhibit yesterday, and she was, here's another immigrant story of America. He grew up, she wasn't born here in San Francisco, but her family was in California, and she's Japanese descent. And of course, they were put in the internment camps. I think that was after World War II. And so she spent her time in the internment camps, which honestly, her experience of it wasn't like it was all, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't great, but she got put in there with some Japanese American artists, like from Disney and stuff. So she was able to learn with these guys, practice, draw, right? So a lot of, she had some really, really synchronistic opportunities that happened because life was hard, right? Like she was sent to an internment camp, right? And then she got stuck in there with um fellow artists, and they also decided that, well, we have to rally and we have to teach the children and we have to teach each other, right? And support each other, right? So it was like a really good, so, and that was her lifelong thing, community, helping children. I mean, honestly, stuff I'd never done, stuff I've always been too much of a loner. But she was like completely community focused, completely helping educate the children through art, making sure they were making art and that the art was available, right? Like really powerful things, right? So um, this is how we get through the fascist years, right? Relying on each other in the community, making art, gratitude, and community. Oh, look at my page is getting all wet and the ink is blurring. So I just want to say a huge shout out to San Francisco, to Liz Skoda for letting me stay in her beautiful marina apartment while she's tripping the light fantastic in Paris. The people that helped me create this workshop here at the Ferry Building, Chinatown, David Kwok, who I teamed up with, super awesome to meet him and create this really, really amazing opportunity. I always knew I wanted to do a Chinatown event. I just didn't know how to get in, and then I found him, and it was a way in, right? Because I wasn't just going to go do it by myself, because who am I to think I could just go in and talk about Chinatown, right? So this is the thing. This is what I see for my future in these very surreal era, right? Like I want to collaborate with people who can share about their community. I'm going back to Mexico, right? Mexico City. There's so many people there that have so much to share about their family history. Oh, look, here comes a cable car. About their arts, about their culture, about their heritage, right? And so, and combine that with sketching, I think that that is something. It's a way not only to learn about things, but to enjoy things in a whole different way. I mean, you got to have some chops, some wits about you if you think you're going to go on a history walk, and not only just enjoy the history walk, but sketch and talk and eat and loll, the whole thing. It's complete sensory overload. Okay, now I gotta switch this so you can see the cable car coming. Oh, let me get this out of the way. Hey, look at that. Oh, it's gonna stop right here. Isn't that adorable? Look, it does stop right there. I wonder if it lets people get coffee. Oh, he is. He's coming in to get coffee. You seeing all this? They're switching gears here. Hi.
You good, Marco? Good. They're all around.
Adios, Ghirardelli. Woohoo! Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? What a shot, man. Look, and I can see the sun is out on the bay. Look at it go whipping around the corner like that. And can you see the water on the out on the bay? It's got sun on it, right? So the sun is out there. Oh my goodness, how cool was that? I hope that filmed that. I don't even know if I'm live anymore. I have no idea. um, all right. So there we go. Gratitude, make art, and be in community, right? And finish big with the heart. Oh, my pen is not working because it's in the rain. Finish big with a heart. Drink out of real cups when you can, not to-go cups, right? Better for the environment. And let's do our best to get through the next coming years, which are going to be a clusterfuck. All right. Signing off from San Francisco. See you next time. Oh, keep drawing, keep telling your stories. Okay, bye.